Yo, how's everybody doing? It's your boy College Football Weekly here, back again with another video. In this video, we're gonna be going over my college football predictions for the week 10 already. We're just gonna be going over each top 25 team that's playing this week and predict the games that are gonna be going on there. First week college football, the official college football playoff rankings came out, so those are in effect for this prediction thing. So yeah, first game, Temple at UCF. This is a Thursday night game. I think UCF, Temple's a good team and can definitely pull off this upset, but I think UCF's going to come out with an attitude this game, that they're disrespected in this, they feel disrespected in this college football playoff ranking at number 12, and the 8 people, I feel like they were 10 or 9 or something like that. I feel like, they're not getting enough credit than what they're, given. So I think they're going to win this game, come out with an attitude, and win this one. Pittsburgh at Virginia. Virginia is one of those teams I didn't have in my top 25 yet. I was waiting for this game. If they were able to pull away from this game, I would have put them in. I don't think they're going to win this game though. Pittsburgh, they're a decent team. They have the ability to pull off upsets against these lower tier top 25 teams, and I think they will do so here. It's a Friday night game at Virginia. They almost did it when they went to Notre Dame, which is a much better team than Virginia, so I think Pittsburgh will pull off this upset. Louisville at Clemson. Louisville's garbage this year. Clemson's going to destroy them all game. I don't see this being close at all. Clemson by like 40. Nebraska at Ohio State. Now, this is a really important game for Ohio State. We'll see if they fixed stuff that needed fixing or not. But we'll see. Nebraska, they won 2 straight. I think they're better than what their record says. They played a lot of close games, kind of choked away some games here and there. But Ohio State cannot sleepwalk through this game, or they're going to catch another loss. It's at home, and this is an important win. They need to come out and look dominant. I think Ohio State is going to look weird. I think they're going to try to run the ball this game, probably. Run the ball, run it down their throats, and depending on how that goes, this will either be a blowout or a close one, and I think it will be a little bit of both. I think it's going to be close to that first quarter. Ohio State's going to start to pull away near halftime and kind of finish the job the second half. So Ohio State in this one. Syracuse at Wake Forest. Syracuse, pretty decent team. I'd say they're second best in the ACC right now. Wake Forest, though, they're going to Wake Forest, and unfortunately, they're going to lose, I think, to Wake Forest in this one. I just don't see... Wake Forest is just one of those teams that, I don't know. I always think they're better than what they are. So, I think Wake Forest is going to win this one. Texas A&M at Auburn. Weird. This is a weird game because both these teams to me are terrible. They're not good. They're not terrible, but, they're just nowhere near as good, I think, as people say. Auburn, unranked. Texas A&M, I think, should be unranked as well. This Auburn team's looked terrible the past couple weeks. Texas A&M just coming off a bad loss against Mississippi State where they pretty much got dominated that whole game. Well, they didn't get it. Mississippi State was clearly in control of that game. I'm gonna go with Auburn in this one. I think they're gonna get things back on track. They're playing at home, and they'll beat Texas A&M. Iowa State at Kansas. Look out for the Jayhawks. No. Kansas has definitely been better what they have been the past couple years. Iowa State, though, I think Iowa State's a pretty decent team, and I think that they may have a little bit of trouble with Kansas, but I think they should win this game. Well, here we go. I say this is, this week is crazy, man. We got Georgia, Kentucky, Alabama, LSU, and then Michigan, Penn State. Those are 3 games, and it's hard to rank them, to be honest, but one of the biggest games all weekend right here. Georgia at Kentucky will decide who will go most likely to the SEC championship, representing from the East. I believe. I don't know the SEC divisions, but whatever division Kentucky and Georgia in, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure it's the East, but that'll decide it. Kentucky, they are a weird team. They win, but they don't. They look awful doing it. They remind me of Texas. They're just kind of due to lose. And they're finally going to verse, I think, a pretty good team in Georgia. Georgia definitely they got things back on track against Florida this past week, and I think they will continue rolling with Kentucky. But don't be shocked if this is a close one. Kentucky puts up a fight. Virginia at Texas. West Virginia looking like the old self this past week versus Baylor. Texas coming off of their first loss since opening weekend, and I think they're going to unfortunately pick up their third loss of the season here. West Virginia, their offense is clicking again, and I think they're just going to roll through Texas this week. Iowa at Purdue. Iowa could potentially lose this one, and it can kind of go quiet. Like, no one will really say much if Iowa loses this one. It's Purdue, I mean, they just lost this past week to Michigan State, so obviously they aren't that, they aren't a top team, that could contend for the Big Ten championship, but they're still a pretty good team. Iowa, they're going to keep this one low scoring for Purdue. It's probably going to be like 10-20 kind of game, but I think Iowa will come out on top. Florida State at NC State, and God knows how I know NC State's in this top 25 still. Haven't seen my reaction video for my college football playoff rankings. You know what I'm talking about, but NC State, as much as I want to pick them to lose this one, I just don't think it's going to happen. Florida State looks worse than they did last year, believe it or not, if that's even possible. They just have no motivation to win. You saw it in that Clemson game, that second half. They just kind of gave up. NC State, I mean, they're a decent team, but they can get probably an easy win right here against Florida State as long as they jump out to like an early lead. Here we go. This is the game of the week for the Big Ten, at least. Penn State at Michigan. It's weird because this has flip-flopped from last year. It's kind of the opposite. Penn State at home, like number 2 or 3. Michigan coming in like number 15, 16, kind of the underdog. Everyone's expecting Michigan to win. I am definitely giving Michigan a chance in this one. I think they can do it, but I think they're getting a little cocky, to be honest. They're getting a little cocky. To be honest, this is their schedule now. They're in the tough part of their schedule. They got through their easy part, Wisconsin, that game doesn't really mean that much anymore. Michigan State, I mean, yeah, that's not that big of a game anymore. Penn State and Ohio State, man, they're going to have to win these games, and I think they're going to lose this one. Despite this being, it's not at night, it's a 3:45 game. I think Trace McSorley, man, I saw it last week at Iowa, man, or at home against Iowa. He is a winner, and he will win. And I think this game's gonna come down to like a last-second play. It's gonna be something crazy, and Trace McSorley's just gonna make that play to get that touchdown or get him into field goal range, I think, to win this game. I'm going with Penn State here. They're gonna be trailing all game, I think. Michigan, everyone's gonna be like, oh, Michigan's gonna win. Michigan has control. A touchdown lead for them is so much because their defense. Don't count Penn State out. I think Penn State is gonna win this one. College at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, tough year, man. Whole Dominican kind of just turned their whole season around. I think we're going to try and get it back on track this week against Boston College. They're at home. Boston College is a beatable team for them. I think they can do it. Missouri at Florida. Florida, I don't think they're a 11 spot for me. I think they're more around the teens, 13, 14 range. But they should handle Missouri. Don't be shocked if it's a really close game until down like fourth quarter. Maybe Florida will pull away, but yeah, I have Florida in this one. All right, you guys know how I feel about Utah. I think Utah's going to easily beat Arizona State in this one. Notre Dame at Northwestern. Ooh, I like this game. It's a 7:15 game. It's at Northwestern. And this is probably, to be honest, I think this is the hardest game Northwestern's got left on their schedule, maybe besides Syracuse. Northwestern on a roll, 4 games in a row. They look good. They just beat up. They won pretty convincingly against Wisconsin at home, and this is a night game. Pat Fitzgerald, man, I love his coaching style. He lives and dies by the risks he takes, 4th and short in the red zone, 4th and goal on the half-yard line. He's not going to kick the field goal. He's going for it, and that is how he is going to win this game. That's how he is going to beat Notre Dame. It's going to come down to those plays. Will they be able to make them? And I'm going to give them it. I'm going to give Northwestern it. They're going to get their signature win for the year right here. And I think they're going to choke up Notre Dame here this Saturday night. Virginia Tech at Mississippi State. It's at home, at night. Mississippi State's going to have cowbells. Mississippi State. Well, here we go. Game of the week. Everyone's talking about number 1 and number 3. Alabama at LSU. Big game this week. Obviously, this is going to be close. I think Alabama's going to control pretty much the entire game. But they're not going to be ahead by more than 10 or so points. Maybe get ahead by 2 touchdowns at max, I think, in this one. LSU, they're just going to stay within striking range. I think they are going to win this game. It's going to be, I think, one of those boring games, one of those, 10 to or 17, 20, 14, 17 games. But I think LSU is going to win. And, they're at home, it's at night, and I think they should win this game based off what I think they can play like. They beat Georgia. If they play like that, how they verse against Georgia, I think they can beat Alabama. Oklahoma at Tech. Kyler Murray is going to win this one. It's at night. This is another game that's probably no one's going to watch because Alabama LSU's on. Ugh. Alright. But yeah, it's going to be high scoring. It's going to be a shootout, one of those 50 to 30, 60 to 30 games, but Oklahoma's going to win. Fresno State at UNLV. UNLV sucks, no offense to UNLV people, but they're just not a good team this year. Fresno State should win. And then our last game, Cal at Washington State. Washington State should win. I mean, they're tired. Don't get me wrong. And this could be an upset. If Cal was at home this week, I would give them a lot more confidence than what I do. But this is a slight upset, I have a feeling. Washington State has played their hardest stretch of games, all back to back to back to back. And, this week they'd be like, oh, man, can we just verse like an Oregon State or something? They got to verse Cal. They just beat Washington. Cal's a decent team. They can definitely pull off an upset if they come in ready for it. And I think Cal's going to come in this game thinking they can beat them. But I think Washington State's going to escape. They're going to escape, man. And it's going to be a field goal or touchdown win. It's going to be close. But I think Washington State's just going to win this game. So, yeah. That's all the games this week. Unfortunately, this is going to be a great week. I'm not going to be able to watch that much of it this Saturday because I got stuff to do. But, yeah. I appreciate y'all watching the video. Make sure to leave a like. Leave down your comments if you want to, discuss or whatever. I don't know. But, yeah. Appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.